Hello and welcome to the Business Success Show with your host, the business coach, Mac Attram. And today I have the absolute pleasure to be in conversation with Chris Myles, all the way from Connecticut, USA. So, Chris, hey, thank you for jumping onto this show with us here.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for having me on, Mac. This is going to be exciting. I'm ready to go.
You know, you have a very interesting story in terms of how you got going as an entrepreneur, and you know what happened, especially with your wife and her sitting you down and say, "Hey, this is what's happening. We're having a baby." Say, listen, I want to get straight into it here.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
one
for sure.
thing you won't know about Chris is that Chris is a big one when it comes to creating financial freedom, when it comes to creating passive income streams, which you can sit alongside your business. Some people call it a side hustle, but I call it, you know, you creating life on your terms, not having to
Yeah.
be stuck in your business, not having to be stuck in a job if that's what you're in. So I want to get deep into this with Chris to say, hey, how does a business owner, how does an entrepreneur turn their business into something that can be passive income? Or if they don't like that business, how do they create a side business which they can turn in, which they're passionate about, which can turn into freedom for them later on? So, Chris, I want to start off with asking you, how did you just start as an entrepreneur? What happened?
Yeah, no, man, that's a great question. Because man, I've always been kind of the serial entrepreneur. I've always been doing something, but none of it really did enough to where or made enough money to where it justified me continuing to work on it. It was just always a little side thing I did here, a little side thing I did there. I remember even when I was like a kid, like around maybe 8 years old, I would get like a fundraiser or something at school, and we would like sell candy, and I'd actually go door to door in my neighborhood trying to, sell the candy, but maybe the candy was like $2 or whatever, but I'd go around selling it for four, and
Wow.
being able to keep the backup. Now, granted, I don't know how ethical that was at the time, but I think it was, I was able to figure that out at 8 years old, that to try to make your time more worth it, and trying to really just jump into this whole entrepreneur thing. I've bought and sold computers online. I've bought and sold clothes online. I used to buy, trying to flip, computers and flip phones and iPhones and everything. It was a whole mess of stuff. I even moonlit as a DJ,
Oh,
for like as a wedding DJ for quite a while. I still do it every now and then, but still, I've always done something. But a lot of it never really generated enough money for me to continue doing it full time, right? So when things kind of started happening with the family, it was my wife and I at the very beginning. But when we found out that we were going to have our first son, some things needed to change, and my wife expressed that she wanted to stay home with him. So that was my motivation right there to really change, not just these side hustles, but actually turn them, with the goal of turning them into the primary hustle. So I think that's really what the switch was in my mind, Mac, because I realized that, okay, I need to treat this like a real business, and by doing so, I didn't take shortcuts, and I didn't, look at a situation, and if I looked at it as a side hustle, well, maybe I wouldn't worry about it too much. But because I knew this had to work, I made sure I did it and kept it on the up and up the entire time.
nice.
And I think that change in motivation, having that good why, everyone talks about you have to have a good why, but it's true. Having a good why and reason why you're doing these kinds of things will give you the motivation that you need to keep pushing, even when things don't work out the way that you planned originally.
Wow, wow, great story there. So let me hear what you're saying here. So just rewind a little bit. So
Yeah.
at a time when your wife was pregnant with your first child, and you know you had that conversation, she's quitting the job, she's going to be at home full time with the first child. You then decided that, hey, look, I've got to get serious on this and focus and concentrate and make this thing work. Did you have a job at the same time, or was it just these hustles that you was doing to bring money in?
Nah, that's a good question. I had a job. I've had a job since I was 16 years old. I've always had something going on top of another side hustle. So I was always juggling like multiple things at one time. But no, I had a nice corporate gig at one of the big four consulting firms in the world. And I was working in one of their offices downtown here in Hartford, Connecticut. And I mean, I was there for like 3 years, and it was nice, but man, it was kind of soul sucking because it required me to be on call a lot. I was traveling, was going away from home 12, 15 hours a day, and that just wasn't the ideal life that I wanted. And I had started I stumbled across this whole blogging and affiliate marketing thing. And when I saw the types of lives those guys were leading, I was like, oh, well, you mean you can make money online? I didn't even realize that that was a thing, you know.
Okay.
I didn't realize that, going to eBay and selling stuff was considered making money online. But I mean, what I was doing with the blog and affiliate marketing to where I didn't have to touch it as much, that was really insightful for me. And I decided to dive into it deeper. So I had to juggle the job for sure, but the motivation was there. So even if it took me 24 hours, I was going to figure it out.
And you finally figured it out. And so the passive income you created was through blogging and affiliate marketing, right?
Yes.
Good. And so for those who don't know what blogging is, I know what it is, but certainly touch on that very quickly. I know you just skimmed on it about, you know, buying and selling stuff through eBay with it as well, and also affiliate marketing. Talk about those two things so people can get clarity on that.
Yeah, so blogging is essentially, when you go to Google and
Yeah.
you Google a question, when you get that answer, 9 times out of 10, that came from a blog. You may not even realize it, but typically that's where the answers are coming from. Even if Google will take the answer and put it right there so that you can read it the second that you Google it, Google got that from a blog, from another website that talked about that particular subject. So what a blog is, a lot of times people will look at blogs and think of, maybe writing about what you ate yesterday and you went to the gym yesterday. That kind of blogging died like 15 years ago. The type of blogging we do nowadays is the kind that answers common questions on topics within, whatever space you decide to jump in. We call that a niche over on this side of the pond, and y'all call it a niche,
You
so
got it. You got it, Chris.
it just depends on the topic that you would like to write
Right.
content on. So, for example, I have a golf site, so I answer common questions on golf, and because of that, people who are interested in golf find that website. And when they find that website, there's an old marketing term that says, if you have people, there's money to be made. So I have a steady stream of people who are interested in golf landing on my website, and at that point, I could promote affiliate offers. I can promote my own products if I wanted to, get them to join the email list so I can market to them further in the future. Things like that that can help you monetize the audience that you've already drawn from your blog.
Okay, let me pause there before we go into the affiliate side.
Sure.
So, for those listening in right now, and I've done this as well in terms of writing things, writing our website, writing copy, writing landing pages, writing answers to commonly held asked questions where Google picks it up. So, if you have a business right now, which most of you I know have, you've got to think about what is the common questions that people are asking. Your ideal clients, your niche, what are they asking? And if you can start creating content or writing articles or writing your website to reflect that, or writing the blogs on that website, it can be picked up through by Google and position and drive traffic to you. So I just wanted to really address that. Now we've got that. Now talk to us about affiliate marketing then.
Yeah. So the way that affiliate marketing works, and I'll try to put it in like, a business perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because you have an audience of people who are interested in a particular subject, so you mentioned, writing content, writing articles that maybe answer common questions in your space. So if you happen to be like a local plumber or something, right? And you're working on someone's toilet, and maybe someone asks you a question about how to fix their toilet. In theory, you could write an article that answers that question and then post it on Google. And
Right.
then instead of having to always answer the same question over and over and over again, you just direct people to your website so that they can look at it there. Now, as people are being funneled to your website from Google,
Yeah.
then you can market to them. So if you have a business, you can try to get their email address, try to get their contact information, jump on the phone with them to try to get new clients or something of that nature. And it's a great way because, again, from a business perspective, you're able to bring people in essentially for free. You don't have to pay for those types of leads. You don't have to
Mm.
give Mr. Zuckerberg and Facebook and Instagram all of this money to try to get you a lead into your front door, because when you create the content online, it can rank for years, getting you links for not links, but getting you leads for years and years just from creating the content one time, usually. So when you have that audience onto your site, there's a few things that you can do, not just get them to become a new lead. So not because not everyone who lands on your site is going to become a lead. So another way that you can monetize them is through something called affiliate marketing. So just using the plumber example again as we go on, let's just say you like this, you have a favorite wrench that you use when you're fixing the toilet, or you're fixing under the sink or something like that, right?
Right.
So when you go there, you have a favorite wrench and you say, hey, I love this wrench so much, I think you should buy it also. So then you provide what's called an affiliate link in that article. People will click on that link, and if they go through and buy the wrench based on your recommendation, then you get money for that sale. You get a certain percentage of whatever they spent to make that money. So at that point, you just got to partner with other companies that will basically pay you to be a salesman for them without having to really bring you on as a quote unquote employee, right? You're just basically a contract salesperson for them by just referring traffic to them from your website. So that's how affiliate marketing works.
Awesome. Excellent. Well explained. Now, for the business owner listening in, thinking, well, I've got my business. I don't want to be an affiliate marketer. I like this blogging thing. It makes sense. I want you to flip affiliate marketing on its head to say, okay, I'm the business owner. Can I create an army of affiliates who do what Chris said and actually push my stuff if I give them affiliate links?
Mac, that's next level, man. I don't know if you realize that. That's next level. So yeah, that's exactly what you can do. So if you have a brand, you have a product in which you sell, maybe it's, consulting, or whatever you happen to be doing, you can actually have other people do the marketing for you, and they will be your affiliates. And then you pay them a commission based on if they bring in a sale. And that's the best part about affiliate marketing. You only have to pay someone if they bring you in a sale. If they send you a whole bunch of traffic and a whole bunch of clicks and nobody buys anything, you don't have to worry about paying their vacation for 2 weeks. You don't have to worry about paying, benefits to them or anything. They're just a contract employee for the most part. So now, usually you do have to pay these guys, or guys and gals. You do have to pay them. You don't have to, if you have a product that's $5,000, you have a profit margin that's in that $5,000. So you need to take some of that profit margin out and give it to your affiliates. A good thing that I like to tell to clients that I have, that I work with, is how much does it cost you to acquire a new customer?
Right.
You should be able to know that, with your business. So if it costs you, maybe, 20, $200 to get a brand new customer, then that might be where you would want to start with an affiliate. Hey, I'll pay you $200 every time you get me a lead, or not a lead, but a sale that I didn't have to work for, And then if someone consistently sends you some pretty good leads that turns into sales pretty consistently, then you might be able to negotiate with them, say, hey, I see on your website you're promoting my stuff. Why don't you put my stuff number one? Make it the first article on your front page, and we'll bump up your commission to $300 a sale or something like that.
Right.
And now you're going to get more and more leads into your business that are more likely to turn into sales, because you're just paying for marketing a different kind of way. So affiliate marketing is great for someone who's just getting into the business, because they don't have to own their product. They can just partner with a bigger company and then sell theirs. But then as the business owner, you can have an affiliate program, attract people who are affiliates, especially people who know what they're doing, and then you can have them sell your product and only have to pay them if they make a sale.
Right. What Chris has just shared with you, and if you were paying attention, is you can have an army of salespeople who you don't have to pay. They will promote your stuff. And when people click their link, which directs them back to your page or wherever it is, that's all tracked. They get paid. So you're paying them commissions on, you'd have paid that in some kind of advertising anyway to acquire a new client. So I love that. And I've used that in my businesses for years, having people promote and sell my stuff to their audiences, and people come to our boot camps or buy our coaching because it makes sense. And often these people have been to our programs, so they get it. So if you're in business right now, you have an army of raving fans, followers, you can use this technique and say, hey, would you like to partner with us? And set up the affiliate link. Now, the next step to that, Chris, is this. If someone says, well, I don't know how to get started on this, is there what's the first step if from the business owner's point of view, which says I want to get an army of affiliates, or from the other side, which says I want to get into business, I don't have a product or a service to sell, I want to be an affiliate marketer. So can you hit both sides for us?
Yeah, for sure. So if you're the business owner and you're looking for people to be affiliates of yours, there are places that you can go. And you've already mentioned one, Mac, with reaching out to your fans. Sometimes that's one of the better ways to do it because a referral from a friend goes a long way. If I have no idea, no direction of where I want to go, but a friend of mine says, "Oh, you need to try this." I'm
Mm.
probably going to try that, right? So reach out to your fans and say, "Hey, we're doing something special. We're looking to." You don't even have to call it affiliate marketing. You can say, if you can refer someone, just tell one friend or something like that. And if they are able to reach out to a friend of theirs and just recommend it and say, "Hey, if you do it, we'll give you, X amount of dollars for doing that," especially if they become a sale. If you know how much a lead is worth to you, you can get even a little more granular with it and say, "Hey, we'll give you $20 every time you refer somebody to us," because chances are one of those people are going to turn into a sale for you later down the road. So it really just depends on how granular you want to get with it. Another way is to not just necessarily reach out to bloggers. You can actually expand that as a business owner by looking at people on YouTube, looking at podcasts, looking at other places like this that already is in front of the audience that you want to get in front of, and doing stuff like this, doing podcasts, and showing up on other people's podcasts, or just reaching out to them saying, "Hey, if people come through your podcast and they, click on what we could call it a content upgrade in the industry," where basically you go from, yeah, someone listened to your podcast, I was on the episode, they click on my stuff because you referred them because they're a listener of yours, you can get a commission for that sale as an affiliate marketer. And then, I would actually, as the business owner, am able to get that new lead, I'm able to get that new sale or whatever, just from appearing on your podcast. So collaborations with people in your industry as well is another great way that you can get affiliates onto your, like you mentioned, a whole little army of people who are promoting your stuff. That way you can make it more passive, because other people's podcasts, other people's YouTube channels and blogs, they're out there and they exist even when you're snoozing in the bed, so
Right,
that's
right.
really the best part about it. Now, from an affiliate standpoint, to answer your second question, to become an affiliate marketer, the number one thing you need to do is pick a topic that you enjoy and like to create content on, whether it's blogging, YouTube, podcast, whatever. Find something that you like doing and just consistently do it. And then reach out to brands that are in that niche. I like to tell people, first off, what things are you buying? Reach out to those manufacturers, reach out to those brands, and see if they will bring you on as an affiliate. 99.9% of companies on the internet has an affiliate program. All you need to do is go to their website, scroll down to the bottom, and look for something that says affiliate program or partner program or something like that. And 9 times out of 10, you can get, it should be free, by the way. You shouldn't have to pay for that, but it should be free. You sign up, they give you a special link, and then whatever medium you're using to contact your audience, you can put that link in front of your audience and make some commissions.
There you go. You heard it very succinctly put and to the point. Now, I want to step it up a gear to say, look, we've got listeners here who are working in their business, but also interested in passive income, and they want financial freedom. And I know you've created that for yourself and your wife. Now, any hints, any tips, any ideas, any suggestions you can give people listening thinking, well, I'm running my business, but I still want financial freedom. And I know
Yeah.
I can talk people this as well. You can create financial freedom through your present business, the business you have, by systemizing it, automating it, putting the right team in place. So do you want to touch on that? What can someone do? What can an entrepreneur do listening in to create financial freedom in their life?
Yeah, and I would definitely have to say it's all about investing and making sure that you invest in the correct things, right? You can invest in your business. That's perfectly fine, but by creating assets that generate revenue, they can be bought and sold. You can buy and sell businesses, you can buy and sell blogs. That's actually how I've been able to make a lot of my money, was from buying and selling niche websites. So and what I do with those niche websites, to go to your point about the passive nature of it, is I'll start with the site myself, and then after a while I'll hire some writers, and now the writers are writing the articles for me. And then after a while I'll hire an editor, so now the editor is managing the writers, and then I'm just kind of, the figurehead CEO
Right.
of the business. And
Freedom.
then And that's where the freedom lies, is understanding the idea of outsourcing. If you learn outsourcing well enough and understand, think about the whole 4-hour work week type thing,
Yeah, yeah.
you use that to the idea of, okay, my time is better spent doing this versus doing that. That's one of the hardest things to do. I'll be honest. It probably took me, especially as a business owner, we're pretty much control freaks, right? We like to control everything we can.
Know it.
But the second that I realized that I could pay someone X amount of dollars to do something, and I can concentrate on something else that either is going to make me more money or buy back my time, that went a long way. I wish I had hired my first VA a lot sooner than I actually did, because I was able to get my time back. And that's really what creates the passive nature of this, because once you're high enough on that chain and the business is just kind of humming, and it just kind of requires you to come in and make a couple of, big vision changes every now and then that gives you time to work on another stream and another stream of income and another one. And then once you have, 5 to 7 of those, that's typically all you need in order to get some real decent freedom within your life.
Wow, wow, wow. Listen, it's golden nuggets you've been sharing here. Chris, in a moment, I want you to tell people how they can reach you, learn from you, or get involved in what you're doing. You're listening to the Business Success Show with Mac Attram. Remember to like, remember to share, remember to follow or subscribe, depending on which channel you're in. And also make some comments. Make some comments now. What are you learning from Chris? What is it he is coming out with that you think, oh, this is useful? Make some comments. Remember to like and share as well. So, Chris, how do people, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
Yeah, for sure. I have a podcast myself, so the Blogger Evolution podcast. So be sure to subscribe there, or you can go to bloggerevolution.com, and there you can reach out to me. We can talk, we can chat. I'll show you how, if you're interested, I can show you how I'm able to do the things that I do with niche websites or niche websites, and how you can build those to the point to where they're pretty passive, and then you can buy and sell them. It's a great industry to be in my opinion, and it's one that not a lot of people talk about. So I try not to tell everybody, but it's fun. It's really cool to
Like
get
you've got
into.
that
So
cornered. Yeah, it's the first time I've
yeah.
heard about blogging from that respect, and it seems like you're doing very well on that. Now, on the other side there, Chris, how was creating that kind of business, which you have automated, systemized, put the right teams in place to, like you said, the blog writer to the editor who's looking after that, gives you a lot of freedom. So how has creating these passive income streams affected your lifestyle?
Oh man, I can't tell you 100%. Okay, when I was working a regular 9 to 5, the regular 9 to 5 isn't really ever just 9 to 5, right? It's like
Right.
8 to 6, or for me, it was like 7:30 to 7.
Whenever they need
And
you.
yeah, whenever they need you, right? I was on call. So like there was times where it'll be 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then I would get, a message that something was down at the office and it needs to be up before everyone gets to work at 8 o'clock. So man, that was some annoying times, that's for sure.
Just
But
imagine.
yeah, so back in 2018, 2019 or so, the business that I had, with this blogging stuff really started to kind of blow up. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I took the opportunity to quit. I figured my son was like maybe one at the time, and I was missing out on things in his life.
Mm.
And I mean, just a quick thing. I remember one time he had a word that he'd said that I had never heard him say before.
Wow.
So after I had been gone like all day long, I come home. He says it while I play with him for like the 30 minutes before I had to put him to bed. But I remember being super excited that he said this word. I ran over to my wife and I picked him up and I got him to say it again. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's amazing. He's been saying that for about a week now." I was like, "Oh gosh," and that really hurt, right? Because I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I'm missing him grow up. So I kind of, I like to fear regret more than I fear
Mhm.
failure. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and quit. Give it a try. The worst case, I could just get another job, and that's the way that I looked at it. And thankfully, that's been about what 4 years now, and we're still going strong, and hopefully we can keep it up. He's about to turn 6 now, which is crazy.
Already, my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow, wow.
insane. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing. We thank God that you're there. You're able to spend time with your wife and your child. And because of what you've created, kind of entrepreneurial systems you put in place. So well done, you. Any last words you want to say before we conclude this particular show?
Yeah, I would definitely say learn to outsource as fast as you can. So if you can get into the point of creating, SOPs or standard operating procedures where someone can swoop in, have the idea that you might sell your business at some point, even if you
Mhm.
probably won't do it. If you have the idea that you might sell it in the future, you're going to treat it differently. You're going to set it in a position to where someone literally could slide in and then keep the business rolling, which will allow you to either take that exit and keep the cash, or be able to kind of remove yourself from that business and have it running without you being there.
There you go, Chris. Excellent. You've been listening to the Business Success Show, where we bring you real entrepreneurs doing real things and creating success. So thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, smash that like button, follow, subscribe wherever you need to, and make comments as well so I know you are there. On that note, Chris, I want to say thank you very much for coming in and sharing these golden nuggets with us at the Business Success Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks so much, Mac, for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Absolutely. See you next time. Thank you, Chris.